and welcome back to another episode on the Cromford High Peak Railway. We're at the highest point of the line now, Ladmanlow, so everything from here is downhill. So here we're Big Phil, or is it just Phil? We've got Buxton behind us, Burbage Tunnel behind us, and the Goyt Colliery off in that direction we're going to go and have a look at now. So we just left you last time out on that lovely, beautiful warm day, just at the top over there. But look, that's the embankment, Ladmanlow Station and Goods Shed just above. You can see the embankment there and the buildings. We've got a nice abutment remains just up here. And this is the A54, kind of the new road to Macclesfield. It's not new though, is it? But you'll see the old road a bit later on in the video, just over there. Macclesfield Old Road. You'll have to excuse the noise, this is quite a busy road, but look at Buxton in the mist just there. Oh, beautiful, but it's not what we've come to see, is it? Turn you around here, it is the old abutment, so the railway just swinging over the top. Look, look at that, still got some insulators on a bracket up there, look.
Yeah, good spot then. It's high up as well, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no abutment left at this side, but we have got remains of the banking on this side. It's a little bit of a weird topography as the road's climbing quite steeply, going under this bridge. So you think it was a deck bridge then, rather than an arch bridge?
It's a weird one, isn't it? So is this? Can't weigh up. It's a skew, isn't it? It's on quite a skew, isn't it? Look, really.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not coming in. It's coming over at such an angle there. Look.
So this is the other side of the bridge. It's the banking there, the dry stone wall. Can't see any remnants of the bridge though, Phil.
No, there isn't. You're right.
There's a trackbed. Look. There's still some old bits of masonry there. I wonder if they're remains from the bridge. It's been reutilised, hasn't it? So this is it. This is the trackbed. And it curves round. That's looking back to the bridge, looking back down the trackbed here. Another vantage point here, and we can see right the railway line, look, curving right underneath the bridge there and over towards Burbage Tunnel. We're stood right on top of the junction here, Phil, and there's a junction. It just peels off to the left here. I think they've.
Well, that truck is that, I should imagine.
Yeah, it's
been landscaped away.
But that was a spur. That was a little branch then off to the Goyt Colliery.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There's a little embankment for that colliery spur just down there. This is a really good place actually. I completely forgot. I'm going to walk away without mentioning it. There's that photograph here. The railway line up until, was it the 1960s?
Yeah.
Terminated just in front of that bridge there. So there's a photograph here with this view with a buffer. And this was like the head shunt from Ladmanlow. So everything past that bridge that's in front closed in 1892 when they opened the more friendly route through Buxton that we saw a couple of episodes ago. So we've just been filming, we've just been stood over there just where that white van's gone past and the sheep are, and there, look, there's that beautiful embankment and the line coming out here, and look, in here we just stood above that bridge. It's infilled at the other end, but we can still see this end of the bridge, and this is the bridge over the old Macclesfield Road, which just comes up out of Buxton at the bottom there.
And this is pretty much where that buffer was, actually.
Yeah.
The close quarters. It was just here below.
Just here, yeah. So this is, like I mentioned at the top, anything this way, the other side of this bridge closed in 1892. So talking seriously, old disused railways now, aren't we?
Yeah.
This section that we've been on, it was if you remember, if you watched the last episode, this was like a head shunt, Ladmanlow Station, just on the horizon there, and they had with green quarries, and obviously some of the old lime works above Harper Hill further back. Ironic, you can still see that ridge at Harper Hill even from here.
That's true. I never noticed before, but since I've been there, you keep saying, "Oh, look, there's that ridge there."
Yeah, very, very intriguing bridge. This, see it, go past on the A54 quite regularly, and it's always intriguing. I think for years I thought it was actually the tunnel, Burbage Tunnel, but no, this is just a bridge. It's only when you get up close to it you realise how skewed it is. We're roughly on top of the little bridge now, heading off that way towards Whaley Bridge. So you think these are the bricks? You think this is the top of the arch that might be becoming?
It's the top lining of this bridge stroke tunnel, archway. Yeah.
It certainly lines up, doesn't it?
Yep. So this is roads. This is disintegrated, and all the stuff's been washed down over the years, hasn't it? And it's exposed it, and farm traffic's probably made it even worse and exposed it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good call, because if you look at that, the trajectory, the bridge is coming straight at us. We're just above the archway here. And straight off down that way lines up with, you can't see the trackbed because of the tall nettles and thistles and things, but it's a good call, that. Before we leave sight of Ladmanlow, just over there, I forgot to just quote these figures last time. So I mentioned this was the highest point of the Cromford and High Peak Railway, and 1,266 feet above sea level, or 386 metres, is Ladmanlow Station, the highest point on the line. Just to compare that, the highest mainline summit in England, A's Gill, in between Garsdale and Kirkby Stephen on the Settle and Carlisle line, is only 1,169 feet. So this is a whole 100 foot higher than that.
Never expected that.
So here we are. We've just ventured only 100 yards up Macclesfield Old Road. Just come in, look at this fantastic vantage point. There's the embankment and the bridge we've just been stood on, and here's that. You can see the ledge. It's carved into the side of the banking here. That's the branch for the Goyt Colliery. Now, I don't know when this closed, this colliery branch, but this is showing as disused on those 1899 maps, so it's long gone.
Oh, how it fitted in here.
It's weird, isn't it?
A room, isn't it?
I mean, you don't know if there's been a landslip or something's been shored up for that road there, down there, but the ledge does continue, look, but not as a railway, does it? So it's an intriguing point that I read on here, just reading my notes here. So that was the railway sidings down there, obviously fed from the Cromford and High Peak. But I read that coal was brought from the colliery face, or wherever, to the railway sidings via a very small canal and a canal tunnel, and then there was a transshipment point between the canal and the railway. It's hard to try and get those. I mean, it's so old. There's not I've not seen any detailed maps anyway before coming here. That gorge goes all the way down there. There could be stuff all the way down there, Phil, but it's hard to get an idea of what we're talking about there from being here and looking down, isn't it? It's so rugged. And is that a mattress?
One of the miners left a mattress.
Animals. There's a weir down there. So it might have been a sluice. There's some working or something just on top. So you think this is man-made?
Oh yeah, look, that's not natural, is it?
Oh no, I see what you mean. Yeah, now I've come down. We've just been having a scout round here, the old Goyt Colliery. Now we could spend a day here doing a whole new video on here, but that's not why we've just nicked up. We've just nicked up just to show you that this was an old colliery site. We've got an old branch from the Cromford and High Peak, and it was all connected to the railway. Now we can see on the 1899 maps, we can see that there is a building showing, and I think it's right where we're stood here. So those bricks down there, and there's a little bit of a square, a little bit of an etched out area, and you say like a flat area here where it looks like there was workings.
Yeah, I'd say this was some kind of entrance in them days to get into the colliery area working here, especially with this being so flat and almost right next to that old road as well. Look.
I mean, to be honest, there's so many adits, so many little things like that, like Goyt Colliery around this section, and we've probably passed hundreds on all those miles to get to here from Cromford. So just to bring you back to that bridge, yeah, it does. You see the bricks just sticking up in the top there. That does line up pretty well with that.
It shows you how shallow this bridge, well, the so-called bridge is.
This, we can't see the end, so we can't. It's infilled, isn't it? We can't get a feeling of how long it is. But looking at this, it can't be much. It can't be much shorter than New Haven Tunnel.
No, I don't think it is. It's a cross between. It's too long to be a bridge. It's kind of too short to be a tunnel, I'd say, yeah.
It's really strange. It's not what it looks like from the road, is it?
It's a tonnage.
But when we think back right to the start, High Peak Junction down there, that one under the A6, that's similar thing. It's skewed, isn't it? That's, I mean, that I think we mentioned that. Why is that not classed as a tunnel?
Because it used to be a decking. And when they made the A6 wide on the top, they made an artificial kind of a funnel going through it, and to all intents and purposes now it does look a bit like a tunnel.
I completely forgot that fact.
That's all right. That's why I'm here.
So this is the other side of the, what you were calling it, a bunnel.
Tonnage.
A tonnage. A bunnel, a tridge. Just in there, as I say, from the other side you could see it's infilled, and this is exactly in here where it's infilled. And here's a track bed, straight in front, and then it tips left, and we've got a long straight drag down towards Burbage Tunnel and the south portal of Burbage Tunnel. But we'll go around the other side of Burbage Tunnel now. Then, Phil, we'll see you around. We'll see you around the other side. So here's the other end. This is the north end of Burbage Tunnel. We didn't get to see the other portal. It's not accessible to public, and there's various stories, so we've kept away from that. Interesting, isn't it? This, Phil, you've just been pointing out.
Well, it looks a weird tunnel, but it's because if you look with a closer eye, you'll see that it probably, I think, eventually came to wheel.
So this is the.
I reckon, anyway.
The end, and it's had a partial collapse at this end, and that's the kind of wing walls.
Yeah, which would have
one of the wing walls.
So my guess is, then again, if you look at these and you look at that, it's quite different. So maybe it's only collapsed here, and it's just part of all these portals that's all fell to bits, and the actual tunnel lining has only lost this little bit here. Look.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's a different type of. Where the bricks are put together, isn't it? But they bricked it up, this, with the bricks from where the bit of the tunnel that they've lost. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does, but they look a bit different. So I don't know. These are all orange. I wonder why they put a lint in as well.
So that's the entrance to the tunnel.
Suppose you've got to try the door.
Well, no surprises there. It's locked.
Well, actually, that says basically said if you want to go in here, ring this number.
Yeah.
For access. Well,
I wonder if it's still used. Obviously, they've had some kind of cabling running through this. I wonder if it's actually still used and maintained by BT. What's the bar for at the top there then? Is that just
support normally when they put one of them in, don't they? Lint. Lint's chocolates, isn't it?
Lint. What's the little bit of pasta?
Lentil. No, that's a vegetable, or is it?
No, that's lintel. Is it?
One of them's a chocolate, one's a vegetable, and one's a support beam, and I don't know which one's which. Lint's definitely chocolate.
It's a good job we're not in charge of doors and putting up houses, isn't it?
Yeah, we have chocolate houses.
So, just facts and figures. Burbage Tunnel, notwithstanding the little bit that's been lost. How long was that? 580 yards. So that's a sizable. In terms of the tunnels on the Cromford and High Peak, Phil.
It's long.
That is a long one. That is a tunnel. It kind of makes a mockery of Upton Tunnel and New Haven Tunnel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And like I said, this section of line was has been out of use since 1892, so a long time disused. We're going to have a walk down the trackbed now towards the top of the next incline. We're walking down now, we're walking down inclines. How many inclines have we done so far? Is it 4?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
5 if we're...
3, 4, 5. You could split them into 2, arguably, some of them, because they were originally, weren't they?
Sheep Bridge was originally 2 inclines.
Sheep Bridge or sheep pastures?
Sheep pastures. So it's going to be a nice change going down an incline.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And we have got a nice length of track bed just to show you up here, including another one of those deviations. So leaving the tunnel, I'll just show you the view down here. Okay, here, a memorial to somebody, and we can get a really good view of the track bed now as it heads over towards Bunsell Incline. Look, it goes right into the corner and comes and snakes it around, and then it disappears around the end of that headland there. And we're coming into that corner now where the track bed pretty much doubles back on itself, isn't it? It's where that deviation is. Look, another embankment there. Is it just because these are weathered, or there doesn't seem to be the limestone bricks? The embankment seems to be constructed a lot differently, don't they, over this side? Why is that? Is it the geography?
Is to compare to which ones?
Well, all the other sides. You saw I mean, look at these. This is just basically one of them big embankments, isn't it? That we've been
because
passing.
the lack of limestone to prop it up, you mean, like we had at the others further down?
These are just grass.
Yeah, but who's to say that they haven't put some under and they've just grassed over it? I doubt they would have done, mind you, but I don't know. It's true, good point.
You'd see some collected at the bottom, like we've seen with some of the ones that have eroded. Yeah. Just wondered, just thought it was noticeable, that was all. Sure is a deviation.
Yeah, it is.
Right at the, so let's just take you back a little bit, just looking back where we've come from in that corner. And you'll see this dry stone wall, it starts to flank out to the right there, look. And the original deviation goes, there's not much in it, they've not cut much off here, but they've certainly took out the severity of the curve.
I wonder if they did it for either, was it to increase line speed or to change what was able to be, what trucks could get round the corners more easily in regards axle loaded and squeak, you know, they squeak on tight bends, don't they?
Probably a mixture of the two, isn't it? They probably realised, it's a very early railway that's been built, we have to keep reminding ourselves, things probably moved on quickly back then. They realised that they'd made I think you commented on when we were walking up, they made a whopping error. Realised they've completely screwed up.
Well, maybe subsidence. Maybe this original armament was getting bad.
I mean, look, there's a whole gully in between this and that. Don't know when. Obviously, this section here, this end here, opened in 1832. This opened a few years later than the other side of Herdlow, and it's showing that old deviation showing as out of use on the 1880 map. So it's, I think we saw it at Herdlow, didn't we? Was 1870s where they corrected a lot of those deviations. So maybe it was the same era.
Probably same thought plan, same contractors, same, you know, they kept up the same habits and things as they went along, maybe.
This is the old deviation that we're just having a little tunnel down now. You can just get a sense of the severity of the curve once you're on it. And there's the newer one there. Look. Still quite a sizable, decent embankment, isn't it? I mean, they've built this old deviation on an embankment. It's not like they follow the contours and then they've had to build the new embankment there. Yeah. So there's looking back. Yeah, it might not come out very well on camera, but you can see the track bed going for quite some distance in towards the tunnel there. Got an information sign here because we're just entering the Goyt Valley. Well, actually, we've probably been in the Goyt Valley, haven't we? Just there. Little map just to...
So I'm trying to work out how much of this whole, you know, we've done of this, because we've done that much, we've only got that much left, so sixth left to do maybe? Or?
Not long at all. So it's just some shots around here. That's Ladmanlow, and that's the subject of the next video, so we won't spoil too much of that. So that's the end of this video. You'll notice we're coming up to a road here, but yeah, this is I won't spoil what's on the next video, but this hasn't always been a road. There you go, I've said too much, haven't I? Right, interesting little section there, Ladmanlow. Weird, isn't it? That other side of Burbage Tunnel was glorious sunshine. We were taking his coats off, we was getting into t-shirt mode, and rocked up here, it's freezing and windy. But anyway, next video we're filming right now, so we'll see you on the next one. Cheers for watching.